Hey family, it is your girl, Miss Michelle Allen Franklin, Miss DI, yes, Mrs. Divine Intervention, honey. Why? Because there are no coincidences in this world, only God's divine intervention in our lives. And Miss Community Builder, why? Because you know I'm always giving you the good information, honey, giving you the people that you need to know out in the community doing the daggone thing. Yes, today I have a very special guest. Today, this amazing woman, she is a registered nurse. Her and I met on Clubhouse a couple of years ago, actually. And she has been just a pillar. You mean a pillar in the community, whatever community that she's in, but definitely out here on these internet streets, honey. She is out here doing what she needs to do to break the silence of people suffering with chronic pain. Today, we are talking about menopause, though. Honey, this is one of the things. You don't have to suffer. Did you know? Did you know? Did you know? You don't have to suffer. There are so many things out there and that is available. And so let me just tell you a little bit about this beautiful spirit. Miss Carol Whyne is a dedicated and compassionate registered nurse with over 40 years of experience. She provides high quality patient care in hospitals, long-term care, and patient in-home setting environments. She graduated from the Kingston, School of Nursing, practiced in med-surg, pediatrics, psychiatry, earned her licensure and practice in, OB and GYN settings. Y'all, I don't know if y'all know anything about nursing, but to practice in one setting is enough. But all of these, it takes a special person. It takes a special person. That's all I'm going to say. It takes a special person, honey. Carol's commitment to continuing education and professional development is evident in her certifications as a certified life coach, as well as her participation in numerous workshops, seminars on health and wellness and menopause empowerment. Her dedication to patient care extends beyond the clinical skills. In fact, she has shifted her niche as she is now known for her passion and drive to break mental, emotional, social, and physical pain cycles in the menopausal woman. Thank God for that. There are people suffering, helping her to break the silence, to embrace the menopause challenge, providing a safe and a supportive space for her, for you, your spouse, and family, helping them to understand and support the menopausal woman. Y'all help me welcome Miss Carol Whyne. Miss Carol!
Hello, Michelle. Hello, good to be here.
Hi, I'm so happy that you are here. We have been trying to get together for a while now, y'all. And I am so happy. It just blessed my heart that you are here with me on my Reflections, Choosing Me Guilt-Free family, because this is what we're all about. We're all about bringing beautiful spirits out into the community so you know who do you need to know. So if you are dealing with menopause, honey, this show is for you. If you have a wife that is dealing with menopause, if you have a friend, a sister, a cousin, honey, it affects so many people. And so we're going to get into it.
I am ready.
Yes, we're going to get into it. Miss Carol, now talk to us a little bit and tell us, how did you even get started on this? I mean, you have such a vast, education and just everything that you've been doing, but how did you get into, why did you choose menopause?
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Michelle, for having me here. Looking forward to it for many, many weeks. But
Yes.
as you said, we had a different schedule and life happens. But yes, I'm happy to be here. So I went into early menopause after having had fibroids twice. Did you
Mm.
disappear?
No.
And had fibroids, had my myomectomy done, and within 6 months my fibroids grew back, and they were painful during the menstrual cycle. So I said to myself, you know what, I am going to just get rid of these fibroids with doing hysterectomy, thinking that the first ovary was removed when I had fibroids removed,
Mhm.
and thinking that there's a healthy ovary left, so that would balance my hormones. When the
Yes.
doctor went in to do the hysterectomy, that ovary was bad, so he had to remove
Oh,
it. And so I went into early menopause, and I suffered. I
yeah.
could not sleep. As a nurse, Michelle, that you have
Yeah.
to be alert to take care of your patients. And so
Yes.
I would have toss and turn. I would get a little sleep and wake up very tired. So got moody, very fatigued. And so
Yes.
I was placed on hormone. I probably took one or two tablets and said, this is not for me at all, because I know the side effects. So I tried different things, essential oils. I tried um, things like black cohosh and all of that. But for some reason, I was not getting the help that I needed. And
Mhm.
so, you know what? I'm having an echo. And so I said, you know what, God, I needed something. Send some help into my life. And there was when I was introduced to seed source nutrition,
Wow.
plant-based nutrition, the
Yeah.
black cumin seed, which was the main one. And when my friend introduced me to that, I resisted, thinking that that was medicine, because
Yeah.
medicine failed me. But after she continued sending testimonials of different people who, when they took it, the body who we know can really heal itself, help them, and different people who had major diseases started to testify about it. And I listened to them and I
Oh,
researched it. And I said, you know what? Probably this is an answer to prayer. And it was. My life has been saved with that. The first night, Michelle, that I took the black cumin seed, I slept like a baby after years of suffering.
wow.
And when I saw what happened, I said to myself, I can't keep it to myself. I've got to tell others about it. So
Yeah.
that is where I started to talk about it. And then eventually, I had that strong feeling in myself that menopause women are out there who needs to know about it. And
Mhm.
I branch off and niche into menopause, and people are there silently suffering
Yeah.
emotional, mental, physical pain, and not have anybody to talk to, because at that time I didn't talk to anybody about it either. I was
Mhm.
silent. And I realized that. And I said, you know what? I have so much to give with my experience, having had hysterectomy, going
Yeah.
into early menopause,
Yeah.
suffering with it, and my
Yeah.
experience as a nurse. I
Yes.
can help as well to help women to break the silence and
I love
speak about
this.
it. Hmm.
I love this. I love this. One of the things that I know for sure that happens, and this is just kind of across the board with us, with women, I call us the helper bees of the world, us that take care of everyone else and we don't take care of ourselves. We suffer in silence and we suffer for years because we're so busy going and doing. I call it the going and being and doing. We're taking care of everybody else and doing everything, and we're kind of neglecting ourselves. And then we don't take the time to find things, to step outside of normal medicine. And then there's so much stigma, like you said, about medicine. And so we're afraid,
Hmm.
right? And can you speak to, I just want you to go back for a second and speak to that fear that you were talking about before you started, that fear that kind of kept you suffering for a little while.
Yes, absolutely. Because having done registered nursing, general nursing, excelling all those areas, I did obstetrics, delivering my babies, went into public health. It was like it was curative medicine. You cure the condition when the person presents in the ER. And but I've always had a little knock for prevention. That's why
Mhm.
I did public health. So
Yeah.
and when this was presented to me, all I knew about, because we had nutrition training, but it was not emphasized as taking care of, oh, the curative, cure them, cure them, cure them. And
Yeah.
so when that was presented to me by my friend, it's another medicine, it's another medicine. It was like there was that fear in launching out, because it's just another medicine, and I didn't want to go there as well. But
Yeah.
the fear of stepping out was also there. But then when I had the experience, had the change, my health came back.
Yes.
I could sleep, Michelle. I could sleep. I was
Right.
well rested. And even now, oh my goodness, I am in my 60s, going into whatever.
60s where? Come on now. I know
And
that's
I
right.
am as healthy as ever, feeling so good.
Yeah.
Yes. And I credit it to my friend who didn't think that she wasn't selfish.
Yeah.
She got something and she knew that it could help me. She didn't
Yes.
even know the details of it, right? And today I am here to talk globally. That's where I want to go. Globally,
Yeah.
to say
Yes.
you don't have to suffer in silence.
No.
And I have a Facebook group too that I am expanding, where it's a
Yeah.
safe place to come in and you get the support that you need, because women are suffering. Yes.
Yes. And we definitely we'll have that Facebook group and all of your links attached to, to the details of the podcast today. But talk to us a little bit about, because some people I think they suffer because they don't even know that they're in menopause. Like they don't even know. So can you talk about some of the signs and symptoms of like that initial, like how did you even know that you were suffering with menopause?
So menopause is when there is the woman's menstruation period totally permanently stop. So, and it's a natural biological process. It's not a disease at all. It is a natural process when everything is completely shut down, as it were. No more childbearing, so you can see the emotional part of it, especially if they start early. Now you know that the woman can the menopause process takes years. Sometimes it can take years. For me, it was sudden, right? It can
Mhm.
take up to like 12 consecutive years. The
Wow.
woman can go into what you call perimenopause, that slight transition, which can take probably a year or so or more, where
Yes.
she may notice that her period is scanty,
Mm-hmm.
may become irregular. It may be scanty. It may be heavy, where she has a lot of bleeding. It may be that she has a period in January and not another period until April. So she knows that something is happening. And sometimes some people think that they are pregnant because
Mm.
period at all. It could be just that she noticed in that perimenopause, so it's the area leading into menopause, which is
Yeah.
completely shut down, and she may think that she may even have moodiness. Family may
Mm.
notice that there are times when she is just the opposite, moody, and there are times when she is just burnt out and just want to get rid of everybody around her. It may be just lethargic feeling, you
Yes.
know.
Yeah.
So that is perimenopause. Now, when she goes into menopause, and that can take for years, and let me say this is very important, that can start from late 30s to early 40s.
Mm-hmm.
So, can you imagine somebody who has not had a child and
Yeah.
going to menopause? Late 40s, late 30s, early 40s, don't
Mm-hmm.
you? Mood, emotional. I am headed into menopause, or I am at menopause stage and no children.
Yeah.
That is where the person going to need a lot of help.
Yes.
and need a community to be with as well. So when they go into menopause, it's total shutdown, right? And that is when conditions will worsen, you
Mm-hmm.
know, less not being able to sleep, period is gone, and moodiness increases. There is uh, just hot flashes meant,
Yeah.
and even in the perimenopausal stage, hot flashes, night sweats as well, and they know something is wrong as well.
Yeah.
And so that leads to menopause. And then after a while, when they go through that, it is postmenopause, when the body is sort of just settling down. The body has lower hormone levels, and the woman is at high risk during the postmenopausal stage for certain medical conditions like heart conditions, osteoporosis as well. And right, so that is
Mm.
basically the different stages of menopause as well. Mhm.
And I'm glad that you said that because, to be the psychological part that happens, I think this is the part people don't really understand, and it's almost like becomes this joke or this big thing. But if you're suffering from this, it is right not anything funny. Like, and it's not something that is controllable if you don't know what's going on.
Mhm. Exactly,
You know?
exactly. Yes, and there are times when the menopausal stage starts in the late 30s and early 40s, and the woman goes to the doctor and wondering what is happening, and they do all sort of tests to rule out
Yeah,
a thyroid problem. What is happening? It is menopause, sister. And sometimes the medical personnel don't even pick it up.
they
And
miss it.
that woman is there suffering, and all they need is to get help, how to naturally control that and get help as well. So, yes, very important to break the silence and let people know what's happening to you. And that is one of the reasons why the family, the spouse, is very important. That is one of my passions, to
Hmm.
have seminars, retreats where husbands, spouses come in, family members come in and know what is happening to my wife, what's up to my sister.
Yes.
Because can you imagine in the home, that lady may have little children, right? And there are times when she's just shut up in her room, not wanting to talk to anybody. If that spouse knows that it
Hmm.
could be, it makes things different,
Yeah.
because he will allow her to take time for self-care, take time to just relax and take care of the children. But other than that, what's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You
Yes.
lost understanding. Is very important that we do education to
Yes.
others, to the women, but also to all the extended families as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. And I can just imagine even with children taking that on, like, you're feeling like a lot of children take on they think it's their fault. You know what I mean? And why is mommy acting like this? Or maybe I did something, or is it me? And so I think that is so significant what you're saying and what you're doing in your community and with the different workshops and seminars to educate. And it's just a holistic approach and just a therapeutic approach for the family. And
Yes,
so I don't think that people look at menopause as a family event or a family affair, but it is very much
it
a
is.
family. And I'm so grateful that you're doing this and breaking the silence. And so can you talk to us a little bit about so the testing? So then how do they know? So if they're going through, because we have a list and we'll have a list of the symptoms, but is it a test or is it something that they can do, or how will they know definitively that they're going through menopause?
So if they're you're having an echo. if they're going through menopause, it is going to, they can do labs to see, because there's a reduce. What happens with menopause is there is a reduction in estrogen and progesterone, and
Mhm.
especially estrogen, it's decreased, and that is why you do have all those symptoms, the hot flashes and the night sweats and all that. Lab tests can be done as well for that. Their doctor can do that, and it will tell you what's going on with them as well. Um, yes, so lab results are done, yeah, to help them to know what is going on with them and the menopause as well. Mhm.
Okay. And I think it's really significant to say that sometimes, like Miss Carol said, sometimes your doctor will miss it. And so, ladies, it's really important to have an OBGYN. I've had, and, it's no knock to the male OBGYNs, but sometimes it is important to have a female doctor and to have a female OBGYN. I know I had a male OBGYN, and I was going through some things, and he was not, I feel like, as compassionate with me. And when I talked to my female doctor, but she knew exactly where I was and exactly. And so I think it is so important to educate the men on this as well. And
Definitely.
so I know that's your passion. Can you speak a little bit more about, the men and kind of what they might be able to do, or what can they do? Because they're like a man, this woman, I'm sure.
So,
Let's
right.
save some people from getting divorced here today, I feel like.
Yes. So one of the symptoms as well of, and when you asked me earlier about what can be done, is going to be, as I said before, lab tests done, but also it's going to be signs and symptoms that the woman sees and the doctor sees and knows that something is happening. Now, one of the symptoms, especially in menopause itself, is vaginal dryness and
Yes.
vaginal atrophy.
Yes.
Now, when it comes on to this, the emotional and mental pain,
Yes.
that affect the relationship with husband and wife.
Yes.
Because one of the things too that women will complain about is decrease in the need for sex or decreased libido.
Yes.
They do not feel like having sex, and they do not want the husband to disturb them. Can
Yes.
you imagine what will happen in a relationship if men are more, and I think you would agree with me, and the community will agree with me, is that men desire sex most times, not
Oh,
that
yes.
women don't,
Yes.
than women. And
Yes.
so that can affect the whole family relationship. In fact,
Yes.
I remember going on Meetup. I had a group there, and the lady came on, and she said her husband divorced her
Yeah.
because she had vaginal atrophy and she was dry, so the sex was painful. She didn't want to engage in that because of the dryness due to the decrease rather, estrogen.
Mhm.
She was dry and it was
Mhm.
painful. And
Yes.
so they stay away from that. Can you imagine what happens with a husband and wife? And that is why the man needs to be educated. It's
Yes.
not that the wife doesn't want to have sexual relationship with you, it's because it's painful. Can they communicate? Communication is very important. Say to the husband, if that man knows, he's able to do a lot of things to help her to increase her secretions.
Yes.
There are natural organic things that can be used as well. Natural things are drinking more water. That is,
Mhm.
but those are very, that's why family and spouses must be involved. And that is one of my key areas to do retreats and seminars on.
I love this conversation, and this is going somewhere where is very, very near and dear to me, and it is relationships, and it is communication, and it is intimacy. bringing intimacy into the relationship, bringing understanding and bringing grace into the relationship. It is understanding that, again, just like you said, it's not that your wife doesn't desire you or want you. And then, what happens is that a lot of men will go outside of the marriage because they're frustrated. And the woman does not know how to communicate, or does not know how to say, or sometimes she doesn't even know what is going on with her. She just know, I don't want to be bothered.
Mhm.
And so that is why I'm saying to the women, it is so important for you to communicate what is going on inside of your body and how you are feeling, because you can't just leave your husband high and dry.
Yes,
You know what I mean? Like, this
exactly.
is really, really important. And I feel like a lot of women do that. And I'm very much excited about this conversation because I feel like it's the beginning of breaking the cycle of cheating. It's the
Yes,
beginning of breaking this cycle of divorce. The
yes,
numbers are up there, guys.
yes, it is. It is. And I believe that, in my discussions, I'm trying with my team to come up on what age do you start to tell people about, to educate teenagers or young adults, that there is something called menopause that can destroy your relationship, your
Yeah.
marriage.
Yeah.
How soon do we start? Is it we start when they are doing counseling? Is the pastor comfortable in doing that? Or is it going to be the first lady to do it? Is it where we can do it and enter from the state level?
Yes.
Can I have a conversation with the state, with the school system? Do we start to do simple, to the point, not anything elaborate, to children, to teenagers? There is something that can affect your marriage. Do we start there, or do we start at the counseling session for marriage? Not everybody who does counseling either. How can
Yes.
we get the society aware? And so,
Mm-hmm.
as you said, Michelle, decrease
Mm-hmm.
on the divorce rate,
Mm-hmm.
because they will go because the wife doesn't, because the wife did not communicate. And why isn't she communicating?
Right.
Breaking the silence. Why?
Mhm.
There are reasons why
Yes.
women will not communicate.
Yes. Well,
Menstruation
yeah.
was something that was tabooed in my days. And my adoptive parents did not talk to me about it. It was the
Mm-hmm.
school that spoke to me, so,
Mm-hmm.
the health science teacher. So do we start there? And when I started, it was you hush it. It's like you don't want to talk about it. It has to do something with our past that has to be broken.
Yeah. Shame. It's almost like it's a shame, or, the
Yes,
stigma, again, it's just the stigma
it,
that's associated with it. Yeah.
it
It almost
is.
is as if, it is the kind of less of being a woman because you can't
Mhm.
bear children now. And there's some
Right,
shame in that. You know what I
right.
mean? Especially
Mhm.
if you're at a younger stage, like you said, the late 30s and early 40s,
Mhm.
like you're getting to that point where you're not able to have children. But, if I know, for me, when I had a cyst on my ovary, I had always said, I'm never going to have another child. I'm never having any more children. I'm never having, oh, doc, you can go ahead and take that ovary because I'm not having any more children. And he said to me, because I was in my early 30s at that point, and he said to me, he said, you never know what's going to happen.
Mhm.
And he said, no, I'm going to try to save that ovary. And I will tell you, he saved my ovary. And after that, I got so maternal, and
Wow.
I wanted another child. And I feel like, a lot of women go through that same thing. If it's an option, you know, then nope, I don't want it. But when it becomes not an option for you and that option is taken off the table,
Yes.
different feeling, and it's a
The
different
feeling.
conversation.
Yes. So that's very important to, that's why education is very important.
Yeah.
You don't, it happened to me too, because when I had five a myomectomy done, and that ovary was bad, one of the ovaries, one was saved.
Hmm.
When the fibers came back with a vengeance, and I was having such painful menstruation, I said, take out everything. You see, just like what you said,
Yeah. Yeah.
take out everything,
That
thinking that
pain.
that other ovary was there to help to balance me. It was not.
Yeah.
And so I was ushered into, and I mean, it was terrible,
Yeah.
and so education is very important. We have to be open minded and not
Mm.
say, oh, I don't want any more children. I'm not getting married. I don't want no man or anything like that. Be
Yes.
open minded, because you just never know how
Never.
life turns.
Never know.
And so that is very important for women to really break their silence. And um, menopause is not an illness. It is a natural transition that should be embraced, right?
Mhm.
With preparation. And when you need the support, that you need the support of family and friends, and sometimes a healthcare professional or
Yeah.
a coach or so.
Hmm.
And as you need a supportive space as well, because I think society taboo menopause. It's
Yeah.
like some women feel when they get there, their life is over.
Oh yeah.
It should be the end of a stage where you review, and then you move on to blossom in a different area. It's like you retire from your job, and
Yeah.
then you may say, I'm going to travel. I'm going to just travel. I'm going to just a volunteer. It should be something like that, that you embrace it, the transition with support,
Yeah.
because you have been educated, you have the information. That is not the end of your days. And even if you do not have any children, there are ways to get support so that you probably can adopt,
Yes.
you know. But how, if the person is not given the information, then they can become depressed, they become and some people, I can tell you, have really serious menopause issues. They become
Yeah.
psych too. A lot of psychological manifestations as well. And there are some individuals who go through menopause smoothly, as if nothing is happening,
Yeah.
nothing at all, and slowly transition, and they are doing very well. But um, the silence must be broken, because women feel that they are embarrassed or shamed, and they don't want to talk about the intimate things like that, and then
Hmm.
they suffer in silence as well. And society place a stigma on them that, oh, you're done, if you don't have any children, you're a mule.
Right.
That's what was you said in Jamaica, probably here, I don't know. Or so they don't want to talk about it. You
Yeah.
can see, if society should be inclusive. We
Yes.
should have healthcare system that provides for those who are going menopause. I mean, not that it's not done, but probably a more that
Intentional look.
women can know more about it. What
Yeah.
is it that
Yeah.
they can go to? Is there groups that you can have, the AA Anonymous or whatever, that people can go, if but make sure it's a safe space.
Yeah.
So they're not aware. So many things. So it's stigma, is misconceptions about menopause as well. Is
Hmm.
like, as I said before, you are done, your life is over. Who says that?
Yeah.
You have completed a transition, and you're
Mhm.
not going to bloom into something else. And that can be the best time of your life as well. Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, I love this conversation. I think it starts with education. It starts with having conversations.
Mhm.
And I pride myself in having the uncomfortable conversations that people just don't like to have. And this is an uncomfortable conversation that you may need to have with yourself, ladies. And I also feel like what you said about going into the school system, because one, even if it is, this might affect your marriage down the line. And how about this is maybe what mommy is going through? and mama does love you, but this might be what what she's going through. I mean, you just never know the ripple effect that it's going to have when you start these conversations. A lot of times when you educate the children will help the parents
Yes.
to get to where they need to be.
Absolutely.
Mama, you need to go to the doctor. Mama, I heard about this today.
Yes,
It
yes,
sounds as if,
absolutely.
opens up the conversation.
Mhm. And the support, I think the support group is so very important too.
Yes.
When a person is entering like perimenopausal stage, you go into a group and somebody says something that is you're going through and give you a tip on
Yes.
how to deal with it. Talk to your husband. He's your best friend, right? Talk to him, and if he hears, some will understand, some will not. But who are us to give the information and let it fall where it is? And you can have interventions where the husband can be helped or family member can be helped. And that's why awareness, education is key, and speaking out. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it is honey, I still love you. I love you. It's not you, it's me. Let me, you don't have control of those hormones, when they just dip down. And so you have to be intentional about your relationships, ladies. We got to be intentional. So tell us some more about this treatment that has helped you through your menopausal journey, because I'm like, that just sounds amazing. It just sounds
oh my goodness, this is it's not even a medicine. That's what I thought when my friend told me about it.
Yes.
I said, I'm so tired of medicine, giving medicine, and I don't want it again. So it is seed source nutrition. It is plant-based nutrition. It is totally natural plants and seeds. I remember reading the word where God said, eat the seeds, it shall be food for you. So it has nothing to do with any chemicals added, no medication at all. It's just a seeds. We have the black cumin seed, which is the main ingredient in all of that. And the black cumin seed is all over the world, but more so in the Europe, Africa, and that has been around for ages. And what happened with that is that there was this doctor an oncologist, who heard about the black cumin seed. In fact, Muhammad said the only thing that the black cumin seed cannot cure is death. And so this oncologist had like, leukemic children who were not thriving, they were not eating. And so what they did was got the black cumin seed, crush it, add the black raspberry seed, crushed, and the Chardonnay grape seed crushed together, made it into a drink, right? Made it into a drink and place it in a packet like this, right? With no additives at all, right? Capture the husk, capture the oils, everything. Gave it to the children, and the children recovered.
Wow.
That was over 12 years ago. And when the children recovered, they said, you know what? Let us put it out to the wider society. And that is what happened. And that seed, that drink was what I started out on. And the first night had it and slept and been sleeping ever since. I started, what was it, like 5 years ago?
Wow.
And I am doing well, and I add other seeds as I go along as well. And this, if anybody wants to know more about the natural seed source nutrition, plant-based nutrition, I'm here. I have a link. I have a website that you can go to. I do coaching on it because I want to make sure that it is taken correctly. As I said, it's just a lifestyle change. I do not do it alone. Is water intake, is going to be dietary changes, getting rid of junk, getting adequate sleep, stress management, your positive mindset, because if you do all of that, and still you speaking words over yourself that I am sick, I am dying, and all of that, I'm not going to make it. your words are very important. So it's a
Oh,
combination
yes.
of that as well. Affirming yourself and be grateful.
Yes. Yes. I love that. We are energy.
Mhm.
When I started my healing journey, one of the beautiful spirits I met, Maisha, she always said to me, she said, you know, we are energetic beings having a human experience. And it is, you know, neuroscience is now, you know, confirming all of that. We are energetic beings having a
Definitely.
human experience. And so just like what you're saying, Miss Carol, with those words that you're spewing out, all that negativity, it's like you're telling, you know, the atmosphere, you're telling that energy, oh, you want more negative to come to you. Oh, you ready to die, or you want pain, or you want,
Yes.
oh,
Yes.
okay. It can't
Yes.
differentiate, you
Mhm.
know. And so
Mhm.
you have to speak positive over your mind, your body, your spirit, those emotions. It makes a tremendous difference.
Definitely. And you know what? That's so very important. The mind is so very important. And as you said, in early days, we didn't think about that, but you can
Yeah.
see a lot of people are realizing that what we say, what
Yes.
we perceive
Yes.
is adds to our health and our wellness as well. But you know what? The body is able to heal itself.
Yes.
And so when you put in the things that the body needs, this body is going to heal itself. And that is what happens when you do the seed source nutrition. It gets rid of that inflammation, the oxidation that leads to other chronic illnesses. It is antioxidant. I
Mhm.
mean, it's going to boost you, give you energy, and it's
Yes.
going to help you to get decrease those free radicals as well. And it is not a one-time process, it's a lifestyle change.
And the free radicals, guys, is what causes cancer. And so
Yes.
that is always, you know, just important, and just stick that in there. But I love that it's plant-based. I I remember, Miss Carol, a few years ago in 2018 going into 2019, when I first started my healing journey, I started this fasting group, and the facilitator was talking about how the food that we eat every day, the stuff that we love, how it affected our bodies. And I was just like, I was just so ignorant to it. And I was just like, look, and listen, sir, I did not join this group to stop eating chicken. I don't want to stop eating this. I don't want to stop eating that, you know. But what I will say is, when I started getting very intentional, and more I learned and the more I researched, what I understand is that the foods make a significant difference. And I
Definitely.
am shifting to this, you know, more plant-based lifestyle. Guys, it is not something, like Miss Carol is saying, it's not something you just want to willy-nilly do. I love the fact that you have a program. I love the fact that you have support, because it is it takes a community, and it takes, you know, you being very intentional about your healing journey, and
Mhm.
about your life, and about shifting your mindset.
Yes,
Because we
yes.
will be so used to doing stuff, and this is how we've always done it, and so this is that. But again, you're suffering, and you don't have to be.
Yes. And we are consuming so much artificial foods.
Yes.
The foods we get now is hormone, a lot of hormone, a
Yes.
lot of chemicals there as well. So
Yes.
processed foods. Gone are the days when you'd have a lot of people have their backyard garden and they would use the fresh food, the organic food. That is
Mhm.
where we have to go back to really help us, get rid of some of these processed foods that is really causing this inflammation in our bodies. And inflammation is the leading cause of diseases as
Yes,
well.
it is.
So
Yes, it is.
working on that definitely help. But all is not lost. We are here, we are alive, and it's not ever too late to start and to get our menopausal woman, because even some of the seeds and the plants that we have, like for instance, the curcumin is very, very good in helping with um, a night sweats and hot flashes.
Okay.
That is very, very important, and that is a natural remedy as well. When you think about
Mhm.
flaxseed is a plant estrogen or phytoestrogen. And
Okay.
estrogen falls when you go through menopause, right? And cause all these situations, issues. And so when you do flaxseed, it will help also with some of the menopausal symptoms. So there are many things that are there. This is just education, being aware.
Yes.
You don't have to be on, and I will never say to anyone, do not have your doctor. Make sure you have your dialogue with your doctor, do your research, and you
Yes.
come to whatever you want to do, but get the research because there are lots of natural remedies there that you can use as well, right? Mhm.
I love that. I love that. Miss Carol, this has been an amazing conversation. I think this is where it starts. We have to talk, guys. We have to talk about it. I want to challenge each and every one of you that are going through this. Talk to your family, talk to your husband, talk to the kids, and more importantly, talk to your doctor. Right. And Ms. Carol, tell us how we can get in contact with how people who need to get in contact with your community. I am going to have a link attached to this video as well, but tell us a little bit about your community and how they can get in contact with you with that.
Yes, so I am all over social media, known as the Menopause Empowerment Strategist, the registered nurse, and I'm on Facebook as Carol Whyne. I'm on Instagram as Carol Pat Whyne. You can find me there, send me a message. I am on Clubhouse as well. I have a room every Sunday night at about 8 o'clock, 8:15. In fact, I'll be having one tonight at 8:15. It's going to talk about nutrition in perimenopausal women. Also, I do have a Facebook community, Blossoming Through Menopause Moments, where you can be a part of it, where we do have live sessions, live. I go on there live. I do blogs. I give information as well. And we're hoping to have meetings soon in that area. It is a safe and supportive space as well. And I do have a website that you can go on and see what I have to offer. I have books. I have a guide to navigating menopause, free ebook as well, Breaking the Silence. That's somebody who has a family member. You can download that ebook and that will help them as well. And in the future, we plan to have retreats and seminars and workshops centering on the woman, but also to get the family members, spouses in that we can break the silence. And in the future, too, see how do we start? School, church, where
Yes.
do we start to
Yes.
get this silence broken? Because I am here to help the woman to embrace the transition,
Yes.
break the silence no matter what, and to blossom into that person that God created you to be. It's not being silent is not going to, they say that a closed mouth is not fed. We can
Yes.
use that in every situation. We have to get communication going, and I'm here to help. So you can reach me with that as well. And the link Michelle is put in there for the Facebook group. Come in and join and
Yeah.
ask questions, and also reach out to me. And I will reach out to you as well. And I'm in the community as well. In fact, I do once a month teaching at the Frank T. de Groot Library in Palm Bay. Next week, Sunday, at this time, I should have finished, start at 3 p.m. And it is scheduled out for the whole year. The months that the room is not available will be
Yeah.
held in homes as well. So I'm reaching out in the community as well.
I love that. I love that. I feel like where do you start? Start everywhere. Just what you're doing, wherever, whoever will listen, because it is just important to just get this information out there and to break the silence, guys. That is what Miss Wynn is doing right now, is breaking the silence. And I'm so grateful. I think that it is, like you said, it's so much stigma out there. You know, it's so much stigma out there. And guys, this month is International Women's Month. And so what a better time to have the conversation, you know, what a
Definitely.
better time to have the conversation. But as you know, we're suffering in silence 365. So we can't wait till a special month to start talking about
Start
stuff.
now. Start now. Start now.
Start
That's so
now.
true.
Yes.
Yes. And you know, I think that two of the reasons why women are silent too, it comes way back. I remember, like, even in the Bible, there were women who, when they were having their menstruation, they were not, they were as unclean. And I
Mm,
think that stemmed back from way back then, when women would just, be put away, or they couldn't, that started. Also, I think it has to do with slavery, where men were treated, yes, as, lower beings, but women too, they would not speak up. They were bullied and all of that. And when menstruation, that, oh my goodness. So that as well, I think those two areas, and society, and parents not wanting to talk about things openly with their children, is very important to
yeah.
do that as well. So, but we're breaking that. We're breaking that. We're breaking that. Yes.
Yes. That is some really good points. I don't think people even really realize, because you don't really hear talking about menopause or, your menstrual cycle as it related to slavery, and even how they dealt with it back then. Like, I can't even imagine. Like, can you imagine? Because they ain't had pads. You know what I mean? And so, and you
Yeah.
think of all of the things, and so
They couldn't ask for it.
all of it. Right.
Yes, they couldn't ask for it. Can you imagine? They had to wash whatever and hide it. Yes, so all of that.
And think about what we're going and what we endure, and what we would endure during the heavy cycle times and cycle periods of time. Lord have mercy. And so this is such an important conversation. It is such an important conversation. Miss Carol, is there anything else that you want to share with the people before we wrap up?
Let's break the silence. Let's break the silence. Let's speak up. I am here to help you, every woman globally, to break that silence. I have a passion for that because of my experience, and to help you, whatever we can do, to, whether it's from a government level, the church has a lot to do that, the community. Let's break it. If there's a woman out there and you are going through menopause or perimenopause or postmenopause, and you are suffering, because in the postmenopausal stage too, there's a lot of medical issues. Osteoporosis, where people fall, their bones start, because of the estrogen.
Yes.
You're suffering, you need to increase your calcium.
Yeah.
You are out there suffering. Please reach out to me, and we are here to help you. We break the silence, open your mouth and speak. There's someone who is listening, who can be confidential and not share your story with others. And the community is here ready for you. Thank you.
I love that. I feel like that is a God provides, because you can't go everywhere. But Miss Carol is in the Florida state area. But guess what? She's worldwide. Me and Miss Carol have never met in person, but she has helped me tremendously. I have been on stages, and she's invited me to come and speak in her clubhouse room. She is an amazing person. I trust her. And so if you are suffering, honey, understand that you don't have to. That is one of the biggest things I feel like I realized during my own healing journey, is that there is so much outside of my little space. If I would get outside of my head and get outside of my comfort zone and be open.
Yes, absolutely. And that is why collaboration is very important. We,
Yes.
we can, if you're going to, you need help to this one, the body itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can't function without the feet.
That's right.
Can't function without the heart. And all of the body is very important. Every member. So collaboration is very important, and that's why we have to step out of our comfort zone. We have to be in the community. We have to be on social media. That's how, as you said, we met. When
Yes.
we met, I didn't know that we were going to do this together. I
Mhm.
am just awed at God,
Yes.
at how He does things and push
Yes.
and give you a leading. Okay, go on Clubhouse. And
Yeah.
you say, what am I going on there to? And this, all of this
Yeah.
is working towards the betterment of human beings because
Yeah.
God loves us.
Yeah.
And he will put people in different places in order to help that little man. And when I say little, I don't mean to degrade him, but that man down the road,
Yeah.
because he was passing by and he heard Michelle talking. And he said,
Yes.
I know somebody like that. God
Yes.
set people in strategic places, and
Very
that's
strategic.
why I've got to speak. I've got to speak.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't want to, but I've
Yes.
got to because God is depending on me.
Yes. 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 And that helps, that brings it back around. Today my pastor preached about Joshua, and she talked in the book of Joshua, and she talked about how we need to trust God in these uncharted waters that we are going through. And that's what this is. It's just uncharted waters. It's stuff that you may not be comfortable with, but I promise you, when you open yourself up to just something different, to, like you said, Ms. Collaboration,
Mhm.
to community, you know,
Yes.
and I think that's what has helped me along my journey so much, is that I opened myself up and I found myself in these different communities, helping and meeting people and healing,
Yeah.
in spaces that I had no idea. And it was because, like you, somebody took a minute and shared their story. And I said, oh my goodness, I went through that too. Oh my goodness. What did they do? Hang on, wait a minute. Let me talk to this person. So I just thank you. I
And I
thank you
think
for sharing your story.
I thank you too because you've been on my platform, and I want to also, as we said in Jamaica, you anytime sometimes you hear me talk, I say big you up because you have been in my community too, and you have spoken on trauma, emotional abuse, and all that has to do with the menopause woman, and so you are a valuable part of my team as well,
Thank
and
you.
I thank you and looking forward to great things when we
Yes,
put this across the globe and internationally so that women and men, children, the little
yes,
child that doesn't
yes,
understand what is going through mommy and it affects that child, mommy
yes,
doesn't love me. We
yes,
can prevent that. We can change that.
yes, yes. I got little chills all over. I just love this. Well,
Yeah.
family, Miss Carol, I think we have done what we have been commanded to do, at least for today, right?
Yes,
Least for
yes,
today. We
yes.
have done what we have been commanded to do. Again, if you want to reach out to Miss Carol, know that her information will be in the description, and all of the links and connections to the community. And so, please, honey, like the title says, you don't have to suffer in silence. There's a community out there, as well as Miss Carol has resources and medication, and well, not medication, but natural remedies that can help you, so that you and your family and the people that you love are not suffering. Because best believe they say it, when mama's not happy, honey, ain't nobody happy in the house.
Absolutely. Yes,
So
that is so
we're
true.
trying to get some happy homes back
Yes,
into
yes,
our communities. And so thank you guys for joining us again. Miss Carol, thank you so much for being my special guest today. And join us back, honey. I always say, honey, when you're walking in your purpose, you will inspire others to walk in theirs. And so, honey, me and Miss Carol walking our purpose.
that's
What
right.
you doing, boo? What you doing? Uh-huh. Come on and get it together. I know you got a special gift. There's something special inside of you. The world needs you. We need you to heal. We need for you to walk in your purpose. Okay. Well, it's your girl, Michelle D.I., honey. This was a divine intervention for real. To walk in your purpose. I aspire to inspire until I expire, just like Mr. Les Brown, honey. Until next one. Y'all have a good one.
Bye.